This meeting is being recorded. Warning.
I consent. I consent.
Anything you say can and will be used in a sample pack.
Wait. Did I sign up for that?
So let's see. This tune, I'll put it on the minute. Can you hear me talk over it? Or is it too loud?
No, the music is definitely overpowering you.
Yeah, it's overpowering you too. What if I did that? Is that any better?
It's better, but it's still very loud.
Yeah. You need to set up your ducking.
I know. Tell me if this makes a difference too, actually, on the original sound. I don't know if this sounds any better.
Okay, so now you're in stereo in my headphones, and you're coming from the left.
And I'm only on the left, huh? So that's probably just annoying, right? Alright. I'll turn off the original sound. Unfortunately. So, some of the things that I'm thinking about for this track is like some synth emphasis on some of the guitar melodies. Like here's one coming up. Those little riffs there. And the little thing before it. Probably that little section. And then like later on, that little part actually becomes this whole big thing. So it goes right here, this build. And like that build brings us into a key change. It we started in C major, and then we wind up in E flat major. Everything's tuned down half a step on guitar, so it's technically B major to, I guess, D. But you play it like C and E flat on guitar. So I wanted to like really make those like little. They're these diminished chords that just move up the fretboard. And, I wanted those notes to really kind of like pop out. So I thought it might be kind of cool to try to layer in like a synth part over it, just kind of mimicking the guitar to add a little. I don't even know how noticeable I want it, but I want it to just like kind of make it pop a little bit because all of this stuff is going to have vocals. Right, vocals. Real scratchy vocals. Don't pay too much attention. It's the singing. And then this comes in. The vocals are dropped out. So I wanted to have like a little bit of a lift. Now, I would probably just play along with this on a synth, but I wanted to see if I could get away with it. If I can use Live's convert, I guess it would be melody to MIDI feature. So I'm just want to hear this. I'm looking for like the cleanest sounding guitar I can find, really.
Yeah, that one.
And you know what else too? I think this is actually going through amplitude, so. I missed the note. That's okay. I did a little different on that one. No, I missed it. I just didn't hit the high, but whatever. Maybe I'll try this one. I think this is the Strat. It says anyway. So I'm just gonna split the clip here, so that I'm only analyzing this little part. I should only be analyzing that little part. And let's just see if I get lucky. Convert MIDI melody to new MIDI track. Otherwise, I'll just play the notes, but it would be kind of cool.
Personal opinion, Brian?
Yeah.
I'm actually hearing kind of a like almost like church organ chord keys, like a burn, 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 build up kind of thing with some like stabby chords.
Uh-huh.
Personal
Oh,
opinion.
no, I'm all open for that. Thank you. That might be cool to just church organ, huh?
Well, just that kind of that kind of more that kind of not specifically church organ, but that
Hmm.
that organ tone more than a keyboard. I don't know. That's just what I hear in my head.
Right.
Kind of
No,
reminds me like. Go ahead.
I think that might not be a bad idea. Something to fill it in a little because there is like space.
Right.
It's
Well,
all picked out notes.
what I was hearing was almost a call and response, where you have one phrase being the guitar, and then kind of a softer, echoey synth that's basically doing the same thing, and you go through a couple of cycles of that. But
That's neat.
that's what I heard when you said you wanted to do something with the synth on it.
We all hear different things in your songs, Brian.
Yeah.
We'll have multiple versions and no, it's interesting to hear like, what other people say. I mean, part of like why I enjoy playing with the other guys is that it's not just what I'm doing by myself, like we were saying before. It's nice to have that change of pace.
Yeah.
Let's just you got me like
That's
halfway there.
Sort of.
yeah.
It's the piano roll. You can move everything around.
Right. So what do we get? We need that would that be a G? I almost like want my guitar just to because I'm not you know what it is, it's not
It might be the A sharp. It feels
yeah,
like it goes higher than the G. Yeah. Yeah, that's almost it.
And then we need that something even higher than that, right? Maybe that's a G after that. Because it's not what I play. I don't play a G. I'm playing this is giving me the flat, for tuning down my guitar. This is what I get.
My bass is tuned in C sharp standard, so have fun with that.
All right.
Very, very low.
Is that like just what, three half steps?
For no good reason. That's all it's for, Brent. Just I felt like doing it. I have super thick strings on it. It's on a junior bass too as well. So it's got like this weird like deep and high tone to it. I don't know.
Wow.
Fun to play around with.
That's pretty crazy. I haven't heard of that before, but hey.
Yeah.
Well, feels early, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a little early.
It doesn't look early according to my waveform here. You just don't want to go where I want you to go here. You don't belong. So where was this note here? Just kind of lining them up. This is a lot of like what I did with the drums, just kind of watching up top here where my notes occur. Just
That's getting there.
yeah, maybe I'll just listen to it in context here. I'm not sure this is the sound I want. I don't think I'm ever going to hear it. I'm curious how this lines up with the other one. So that third note feels a little funny, right? Is that just how I played it? How we all played it? Organy, huh?
Well, that would be for chords.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Put the bottle on there.
The bottle. What I'm trying to remember what it even sounds like. I need something with more like bite, right?
Yeah.
This is a good excuse to actually use some of my own sounds, right?
There you go. Show them off.
Where do I begin? Maybe in the plucks department. I'm thinking these are kind of plucks. What's plucks analog sound like? I'm gonna have to raise that up an octave. And I'll do it in here, I guess. Maybe even 2. That's probably not gonna do it. A little too plucky, I think. It's almost like the last one we had. Gamer. Maybe not. That's also a little low, huh? Takes it to a different dimension. That's closer to what I'm thinking.
So what does it sound like without it again?
I have to fix some of the timing. Without it?
Yeah. All right, so
bring it in.
I like that actually. That's a neat Stacy vibe to it.
You know, the song is called Universe. So it is
spacey.
The whole like thing was like, should we like make it spacey, you know, or what do we want to do with it? It has been a thought. A lot of reverb. 6 seconds, probably too much. And it'd probably be like pretty subtle in the background, really.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
So you did one change on your audio settings where your voice kind of went to the left-hand side. Remember that setting? Go to that setting because that's kind of more what's coming from your DAW. This is kind of like a stereo. Well, no, I want to hear it through that because this is kind of more of almost a mono vibe going on.
Yeah, let me see if I can adjust that for you guys. If I just go into
because the last one was very, very stereo separated when your voice was coming from the left side.
Yeah. Where am I? I'm just looking into I'm not even sure what audio I'm coming through here.
I mean, if it's a big deal, don't worry about it.
No, it shouldn't be. If you don't mind waiting like 25 minutes for me to figure out this stuff. So what am I using? Focusrite and Claret. Okay. So I'll show you what I'm doing. I guess let me keep it interesting. No, I'm not doing that. I've got Loopback, which I think is a wonderful program here that lets you create your own routings through you can I'm combining live with my mic right here, so that makes sense that I was only coming out the left. Now this I think should do it. Let's see. Turn on original sound. Am I still coming out of both channels?
Actually, no, you're in good stereo now.
Stereo? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd been hearing you in stereo all along, but
well, I was in mono.
Okay.
And now you'll probably hear it in the music a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, tell me what you think. That help?
Yeah, well, that takes down that sound a bit more. It's kind of more in your face under mono. So.
I turned it down actually. I think right before you said that.
I can't hear you. Speak up. Once,
What's that?
like, here are some examples. I'm designer of a video game. I am a state champion in tennis. I'm an award-winning violinist. I make an amazing chicken
Oh, this background
parmesan,
talk.
and
Yeah, sounds like a telephone conversation.
I gave him the mute button.
Uh-oh.
No offense.
So yeah,
All right.
like kind of hearing more what's coming out of there instead of a mono track is
Yeah.
interesting to compare with.
Yeah, I'll give it a little pan actually, because my thinking was to maybe do like 2 MIDI tracks, one on each side,
Gotcha.
different sounds.
So now that you're in stereo, try it without that in there. That's
Without the pan?
no, without the
Oh, without
just
sound.
without the, yeah. I want to hear the difference. Bring it in. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah, there's kind of it puts a little bit of a warble effect on there.
Yeah. Yeah, that sound is kind of cool, like, because it's kind of like, this song has like a throwback vibe, I feel like. Probably have to, I gotta play with the timing of the notes a little bit, but, it's got like, I think of it as like an old school type of song. It's got that minor 4 chord that happens. And to me, it's always like very 50s, 60s. Where is it? Coming up here. That chord. All right. I'm kind of like finding it interesting anyway. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to pan it to the right, and I'm going to find a different sound.
Uh-oh.
Maybe old friend. What does this sound?
Try it.
Our old friend. Let's see. Probably need to tune it up an octave based on that. I have to do something about that last note.
It's very plucky.
Yeah, it is. Even a little delay, What the hell? All right, and in context.
Very subtle. I like it though.
It's a little touch, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put these in a little group here. We're in guitars. Let's take you out of there. Give you all a different color. I don't think I have that color in here anywhere. There we go. I do somewhere. No, I don't. Okay. We'll call these synths. Probably thin them out eventually with some EQ, but maybe that'll just give them a little spot in the mix. I don't think we need all that low end. This one's a little dinky. Wonder if it would sound better an octave higher. Put it up 24. I don't know if I like that. Well, maybe I'll consider a different sound at some point. Okay. That might be good. Maybe.
Who knows? Did we help you write your newest hit?
I think so.
The synth part is going to change.
We do another climb too. At the end, so it goes into like a guitar solo, then it does another chorus, all 3 steps higher. But then it does the build again and brings us back to our main key, which is C or. Now we're back where we started. I bought a cowbell for this specific part of the song. Never owned a cowbell before, but for the sake of that part of the song, I wanted to have a cowbell. There it is. I'm going to probably treat it to make it a little more exciting, but it's the first time I've ever used a cowbell in a song. So yeah, I guess I'll give this the same treatment. I'll separate this little part out and see if I can get the MIDI from it again. Melody to new MIDI. So this just turns any audio into a melody. If it was harmony would be more than one note, and it might not be a bad idea to try harmony actually, since these notes do overlap, but I'll try it. Let's see what we get. Harmony is for like polyphonic sounds, so it's probably going to assume I have that. This might be good for the chords thing you were talking about. Oh, yeah. There's definitely some extra silly business going on here. So these notes, I don't know what it's thinking about. It's funny what it thinks I played. That wasn't too bad. So I guess if I want to do the chords, like that's kind of the way to go.
Yeah.
Now, were you thinking like the full chord right on the first beat?
I mean, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me do this. Let me figure out where did I put those keyboards. I'll just, for now, anyway, just drag these guys up here. And then I can operate on this MIDI clip a little bit. Bring these notes over.
Well, the strum effect is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can kind of keep that. What am I listening to?
You're still in you're still in the
What is that, working on the wrong clip? What happened here? Doesn't look like what I did. I was working on the wrong clip. Okay. Bring you back down here. Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying. The strum. Not quite all even, just so we get that effect.
Maybe turn the fourth bar solid chords instead of da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
See what that sounds like. Uh-oh.
the right note. Let's see. That's a G7, which, yeah, that looks, yeah, translating it down half a step. So that's just basically a G and a D, but an F sharp and a C sharp. Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Actually, up.
What's that?
Go up. It's in the keyboard. Or is that the one? Oh, that's the one you worked on. I see.
Yeah, it's a little confusing with all these greens. I should be using that thing that Patches makes. The auto swatch. So I hear what you're saying though, but like an organ sound. Let's see if I got like a church organ.
Don't go that crazy. But who knows?
Just for the hell of it. It sounds so much eviler, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking quite the church organ, but maybe more Ray Manzarek organ, but you know.
All right. Well,
Towards the action.
I will keep that one in mind. You know, play around with it. I wonder if these ones work. We put in.
You know, every time you hit that last chord, I keep hearing Lou Reed starting out on, is it Sweet Jane or?
Awesome.
I can hear what you're saying, Joe. I can hear that for sure.
I tell you what, when we made this song, I said to the guys, like, I want to imagine Lou Reed sings this song.
Really?
I really did, yeah. I've like our first time we like stumbled upon it in practice. You know, it was like I could picture like this like Lou Reed attitude to this song. I love
Yeah.
Lou Reed, like
Yeah.
his
I
vocals
think you got
especially.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. We have another song that was literally we made it to like cuz we wanted a song that was like Sweet Jane. You know, like
Yeah.
just that vibe like bow 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 bow. Down, you know, just that like that's such a great groove. So we kind of made a song on the spot. That was like that one's more Lou Reed than this one even. But that's cool. I'm glad that actually comes through.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll keep those like bum bum bum, but might do something different with that. Cause I like it as like almost just not even noticeable. Just like a lift. Yeah, I'll just keep it, but deactivate it for now. Yeah, that brings us back home. It's such I love the like using those diminished chords that way. It's a trick I got from on the last podcast I did. I had Jake Lizio on. I think I put the video in the show notes even because I just think it's awesome. Um, yeah, diminished chord portal. I'll give you the link. But he did this video about how you can use go away YouTube. He did this video. Let's see where the chat is. That talks about how we got a cowbell picture. What is this gonna be? um, Is it gonna be Will Ferrell? I
Oh,
knew.
of course, of course, of course. I also posted it in the Discord.
Nice.
Said, "What you're missing in the live class."
Yeah, that's what you're missing.
You and your cowbell.
You know, we were watching Grand Funk Railroad American Band. That starts out with the cowbell. Man, that music video is worth watching. If you haven't seen it, it is so funny. Grand Funk Railroad American Band. These guys are just like insane. They
Oh yeah.
in this video they're like riding motorcycles. They're shooting guns. They're like they're doing
And
everything.
they're an
They're
American band.
they're awesome.
They're an American band.
um, the video though, I saw the Jake Lizio one was he talks about how you can use the diminished chords to go into like all different keys. And that's something I never really understood before, how you can use them. So with that in mind, we were working on this song, and I was like, let me see if I can figure out a way to like switch keys with this song using those chords. And we just go up the neck on the diminished chords to get to that key change. We hint at it at the end of the first chorus, so we get like a little. So like the original way I think we played it, we just went to like a G7 chord, but instead of that, we then changed it to the diminished chord, and then that became this whole build thing that gets us to the key change. Now we're just up. It's a little more energy for that last chorus.
I definitely hear the Lou Reed a lot more now that you said it than Sweet Jane.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Lou Reed. Velvet Underground, Lou Reed, some of my favorites. Just, I love his vocal delivery too.
Spooks. Hello, Spooks.
Yeah, welcome. Congratulations to you with the release. Oh, I don't know if he can hear us yet, but he's got a release going, which is pretty awesome. Hello and welcome. Congrats on the release to Spooks. Welcome to the chat, the class, whatever we call these things. Yeah, but Lou Reed has got like just such a style to his vocals. I love it. You know, he's like sometimes he just sounds like he's talking. Just very matter of fact delivery. Yes, so I noticed like the timing on this first one. We'll have to look at a little bit, but I think I like the feel, just the extra little dimension of it. I think like these guitars will probably be a little bit louder. Who knows? You know, we'll figure that out later.
How many times have you heard the song, Brian? In Ableton.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, because like doing all the drum work, which I think I was showing you guys last time, getting these samples in over the drums, and then just checking, like, did every kick that needs to be there get hit? All the takes we did on the bass, like it was 29, 35, like, you know, not that we did he did it the whole song 47 times, but it was like, let's try this part, and built up. Yeah, a lot. The guitar solo, that was 52. I just had it looping until I was getting what I wanted. I'm writing it too as we go, you know. I'm sure you guys can all relate to that though. Like, how many times do you hear your song played back over and over? It's uncountable. And if you ever have anyone like around when you're working on a track and they just hear you listening to the same thing over and over and over, like most people the first time they've heard me like work on a song, like if they're just in the house and they're in like another room, like they think I'm totally insane, like just listening to the same thing over and over and over. The take lanes, yes, we are all a big fan of the take lanes, I think, right? That's been a huge help. That was, I'm sure I used them on some of these guitar parts. Yeah, this is the scratch solo. It goes on forever. But that's something I'm trying to work on at this point with some of these songs, is just subtle things that'll give the parts like a lift, like, because like once the chorus happens and the vocals drop out, I don't want it to just sound like nothing else is a focal point. I want to give you something that like now you're paying attention to this. It's a thought I have going into this, like putting these tracks together, like there I want there to be something interesting to listen to throughout the whole thing, not just like these are just like chords that have nothing going on. So the build does have like a melody to it, but I didn't want it to like feel like less. I want it to feel like another level. So I'll probably
Right.
play around with these sounds and figure something out anyway. Yeah, Joe.
Um, right after that build, where you do the little couple extra strokes.
Uh-huh.
Uh, right after the build, if you just held that chord and instead of
Bum
breaking
bum
up
bum
with
bum
a little
bum.
bit of rhythm, and then you just just held the chord, and then you hit the where you actually get back into motion.
Uh-huh.
You follow what I'm saying?
Now, is that the first build or the second?
Uh,
Because they
the
do
one that you
different
just
things.
played, yeah,
The first one, if I'll let you hear, it takes us into the guitar solo where the whole band is going. And the drummer does
yeah,
stop there.
yeah, but right there where there's that extra motion, and it, I yeah, that right in there, right right before the solo starts, there's a couple of licks, and I'm just feeling that there would be kind of more impact if there was just kind of a half second or a 1 second pause before you have a build, and then kind of a almost a release, and then you're on into the solo.
Right. So you're saying almost like a big chord, like dun dun instead
Yeah,
of dun
well,
dun dun
yeah,
dun
yeah,
dun.
just holding it, and then yeah, yeah. Instead of where it's going da 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 da,
Uh-huh.
yeah, just
Just
hold
dun.
one place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see what you're
da,
saying.
and then
Yeah, because the drummer,
the solo takes off.
he rests there too. And that, I guess that idea was that little fill, but it does have like a little strummy thing happening.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
yeah, it's just a thought.
yeah, that's not a bad idea. Um, it might give it a little more drama.
Yeah, yeah.
The second one, the whole band does do the bum 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 bum, but then it drops out, so it might make more sense there.
No, that see, that to me sounds like it's all in place,
Yeah,
and it works.
a
But
little less so the
uh,
first time.
yeah, the first time maybe it's because the drummer drops out, and you're just getting this kind of little weak bit
Yeah,
of motion down there, where like I say, I would just hear more of a pause, like you're doing the build, and then all of a sudden, like you're taking your breath, and then you're into the solo.
Right. Yeah. Let me hear what the bass does. He just does like a brrr. He doesn't even do the.
Yeah,
Well, let's see. Let me save this. On one of the choruses, we end dun 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 dun. We hit that chord. I think that's the first one. That would be right here. So I have a lot of copying of guitars to do. I gotta open all this. I wonder if I can do that. Probably the real thing to do is just play the guitars again, but because it's one chord, right?
yeah.
But I would be interested to hear. We can get like a crude idea of what this will sound like. I just 500 guitars here. So that would be probably just this little part. Not even that much, just this little guy. All right, so I'm going to copy all of that, and let's see if I can just get away with it. That would be here. And then let's just, I gotta pick just the right amount here. I don't want to take the solo away. Okay. I'll turn these guys off. I didn't copy them. All right, just for the heck of it. There is a bass. That might be cool.
Yeah, or
You get that like silence.
yeah, or just a chord that's holding through there.
Longer held,
So
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, yeah, to me it adds a little excitement.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, holding it would be nice. But that does give us like the picture a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
That's a great
Just
idea.
thought,
I like it. And it fits with what our drummer played anyway.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to make a mark of that. I'm going to undo what I did. Not because I don't like it, but
Yeah,
just because it got sloppy.
yeah.
But I will make a mark. Big chord. It might be pretty cool. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, because it leaves that space, and then that guitar can come in with. Yeah, it's a little sloppy. I hear you. Oh, this is great. Co-production credit.
Music by committee.
Yeah.
Brian, change this.
Okay. Yeah, we
No,
mean
it's-
recording a few more guitars, I guess.
No, but it's neat to show up what you can kind of do. You just kind of copied a chord from one place and went, all right, what does it sound like?
Yeah, sometimes I like to do that just to like know if it's worth it, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things where when we play live, a lot of times he would go bum 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 with us, and this time he didn't. We didn't alter that, or I didn't really. It sounds like our bass player did. He does the blue, so that's funny. I should have picked up on that.
Can you just take a chord and stretch it over that little gap?
I probably could. I don't know if I get away with it though. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
some artifact creeps in or something.
Yeah, if it was a more electronic-y song to begin with, it would probably work. Yeah, but I think with what we have, let me hear what is this chord right here?
You'd get a what was that reaction?
Yeah, weird like stuttery thing. Yeah, I like that. I do. It's a nice like moment of silence, a little tension. I'll see if I can figure out a way to do it. Way to cheat first. Rather than so many guitars. But they might not all need to hit on that, honestly. I might be able to get away with it. Yes, so much you can do, right? Well, that's cool. Thanks for that. So yeah, I think we might bring her to a close. I'll let you guys know when I hear from Adam, what he wants to do. So I think we'll be able to get another one probably pretty soon. And maybe I'll put something in Discord, like maybe make like a channel for Sonobus. Like anyone interested, and we can set up a time or something for that.
I think it'd be worth a go. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, why not, right? It might be really cool. If nothing else, at least we know. But it sounds promising.
Anything, it sounds fun, right?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll make like a channel for that. And I guess that's like the kind of thing you just like do at any time too. So nice. So I guess we'll call this one a day, right? Anything before we go?
I wonder, could I ask a quick mixing question?
Yeah. Absolutely.
This might seem a wee bit basic for some, but I've been stuck at this stage. It's my first time doing a mix and trying to kind of get something ready to go. I'm trying to manage volumes. And I wonder, is getting like that definite volume level down, is that more of a mastering thing rather than a mixing?
Are you talking about like the overall track volume?
Like, I suppose putting it down like you're at minus whatever dB, and that's where your overall is. Do you do that stuff when you're mixing, or is that kind of those limits more made when you're doing the master?
Well, right now I have this down at -12 just so the volumes are balanced with my voice and the music. I usually keep that at 0. Then the only time that really ever moves is if I'm doing a fade in or a fade out.
Right.
On the whole track. A good like general thing is like you kind of want to watch like your meter. If I just play this, let's do this a funny way. I will move this down -12. Well, that's not gonna do what I want it to do. Or I could do it in loop back. That would work. Let's see. I'm gonna just turn down live and loop back so I can put this back up to 0. Now, did that make it quieter for you guys?
Louder. It's louder.
Louder, yeah.
Louder.
It's loud for me too. All right. Well, maybe you just kind of saw for a second where my meter was. What you wanted to have is just some headroom, meaning like you don't want it constantly smashing up to the green or to the right to the limit there, or even into the red. you want to see it like dancing a little bit up and down. Those are the dynamics in your music. Um,
Yeah.
and I've heard all kinds of different rules of thumb, but I like to see it, you know, what is this like? We'll make this a little wider here. So this is -6. I like to see it like somewhere bouncing around this range-ish, you know? I'm not really even thinking about that yet at this point. But I like it is tempting like to get like I don't know why this is all the way up here. I'd have to kind of investigate what I got going on there. But I like to see it moving and bouncing. And then with like mastering or even later if you do it on your master bus yourself, like then you can start compressing things to pull it together a little bit. But you should see some movement, in the track. And different genres have different amounts of dynamics. Like if you're doing like classical music, there's going to be a ton of dynamics. So you're going to really see this thing like sometimes it's going to be really low and sometimes it's going to get up there. Some like electronic styles are like pretty heavily
Slam.
they're slamming up there and they don't have quite as much dynamics. Something like this kind of music, I want there to be those dynamics. I want to see some movement, but definitely not like a classical piece would have, or even just like an acoustic player. What kind of
So
music are you working on?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh, cool.
I suppose, I mean, it's got electronic elements. Some of it is more kind of funky stuff, but yeah, kind of experimenting a bit with some stuff. I mean, there's nothing like mind blowing stuff, but I'm not quite sure what genre.
That's cool though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would imagine you probably, if you're saying funky, there's probably groove to it. So you want that movement in the dynamics, I bet.
Yeah. Some of it could. I suppose what I'm doing now with in trying to mix it and just get it kind of sounding right is just getting all the sounds relatively sounding balanced.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose what I wanted to just make sure is that if I get them relatively balanced, then I can get the overall volume level.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that later. Is that the way that it will be done?
Yeah, everything's relative, right? Like all the
Yeah.
elements are interacting with each other. Sometimes if I find my stuff like getting like a little too high up here, I might just lower everything a little bit. And sometimes I'll highlight everything, just lower them all, or I might go like I'll have like my drum group, and then I'll have like my cowbell group, my electric guitars. Like I'll lower the groups usually. If you have everything really slamming up here, though, it sort of makes everything mix a little bit, which is one reason that we like it and we often find ourselves there, is because it kind of like fixes some problems in your mix in a way, because everything is so loud you can kind of hear it, but you do lose the dynamics. So like over compressing stuff can be a way to make it sound kind of mixed better, but you've lost a bit of your energy changes with the volume.
Yeah, that's kind of been happening to me a bit as I've been trying to perfect things or do, get the compression right and stuff. I've lost some of the energy, even though it might be a little less harsh or something, but yeah, it's a hard, yeah.
Are you only listening through like one type of thing, like headphones, or do you listen to it through like headphones and a stereo and maybe your car?
So all I've got right now is the headphones, and then I'll listen on a phone or a computer, which they don't have good speakers, but it can sometimes that harshness can can be kind of helpful to show what's really standing out or what's really not sounding good, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, for sure, for sure. You
Okay,
can kind
cool.
of hear it a little differently. So yeah, you were here in the beginning when I was talking about that, right? About, about mixing it
Yeah,
by stereo.
yeah, because I almost mentioned, yeah.
So yeah, it's just I personally think it's good to listen to. And Brian, you said that you like to listen to stuff in your car to kind of see how it sounds, because that's where you listen to a lot of your music, you know.
Mhm.
So it's just, I think part of finding that balance is checking it on other systems. Personal opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey Brian,
Well,
oh, go ahead, Colin.
oh no, sorry, I was just going to say, you know, I'll probably try and get it finished soon. Haven't really made any music in a while, but I'll post it up and maybe I can see what if it's working for you guys.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely do
that'd be
that.
cool. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. That's a great place to do it. And comparing it to like other songs, you know, of like similar styles, if you can, if there's anything in the world that sounds like whatever you're making, you know,
Yeah,
um, just like hearing it, that's really helpful. Like a reference track, I say, you know, just listening to other songs like after, before it, and stuff, so you can. I even if it's not in your track as as a reference track, like the way you might set that up, but if you just listen to other music, sometimes you just say, "Oh man, yeah, I'm a little off on like the bass or the treble. Like my song has like too much energy in the low end, or not enough." Or it can really help just even just like listening for a couple seconds just to compare.
So Brian, I've got a quick question on, because you've got your master selected. So you have a limiter, a utility, and what's the first one?
This is the Sonar Works reference. So, I click it. This is a plugin. It's kind of like the room correction plugin.
Okay.
So they make this microphone that you hold up to your speakers, and the speakers like start making all these weird chirping noises. And on the screen, it'll tell you like, all right, hold it right in the middle where you're gonna sit. Now hold it like over here, and it shows you like a diagram. You have to like match it up. It's sending sound to this little microphone, and I guess based on what the software is hearing through the speakers. After you do this, it takes like 15 minutes of walking around and holding this mic in all these different places. It gives you this EQ curve for the sound of your room,
Okay.
and it's pretty interesting. Um, and it makes difference. Like my speakers sound a lot better with it on.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, they sell it. It's like a microphone and software package. Um, and yeah, it basically hears your room and makes corrections. When you go to export things, you have to turn it off though, because that it's specific to your room. They do it. They have like a headphones one too, like so it's specific to your headphones, and you can make different presets for different speakers.
Okay. That's interesting. I was curious what that was.
Yeah,
And
it's really cool.
yeah. And then another quick question. So I have an inkling of why you have a utility and a limiter on, but why do you have those on there?
Well, okay, the limiter is there just so I don't like blow out the speakers. It's just gonna stop it from clipping.
And and you keep that on all the time?
I just keep it there. Yeah, it's not doing anything really. Um,
Right, right,
right now, there's no gain, so
right. And a
um,
real low ceiling.
yeah, yeah. So like the ceiling is basically zero, right?
Right, right.
So it's just not letting it go up past zero. And probably if I play this, I'll just turn down the fader. You know, we're not seeing any gain reduction.
Right.
So that's really like just a protective thing.
So you're just using that while you're kind of playing around. You don't use that when you go to master, or not master, but when you go to export anything, right?
Yeah, yeah. For now, it's just there, just so I don't like turn something too loud and it's clipping. You know.
And then I'm assuming you use the utility to mono and
Yep.
stereo it
I do that just sometimes just to check. You know,
Yep, yep.
because
Okay.
I like to mix in stereo. It's fun, you know. I like to hear things like you can see it like the toms panned around. And it's like fun to hear. A little bit of the guitars are panned, but sometimes when you pan things, you're fixing a problem that you can better off fix with a little EQ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're just sticking it over here and it kind of works, but if you were to EQ it, it might really be the better thing to do. And I find if I do mix in mono, and once I then turn it off and go to stereo, it's like, oh, I got all this extra room now.
Right.
So I mean,
No,
like,
I
I
was just curious.
yeah, no, it's a good question. Like right now, it's not even really doing anything. Neither of them are really affecting anything, but they're just there for if I do. Uh,
What impact does a look ahead uh, parameter have? Does it, if you do a larger look ahead milliseconds, does it have a CPU impact, or
I think it
what
does.
does it
It might
do?
tell you. It might say it has a CPU. Um,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, wow. Hmm.
with increase in distortion. Yeah. Hmm. So I guess it affects the sound a little bit. Um, I guess I thought really just gave it a little more time to do its work, so it wasn't
Yeah,
as CPU intensive.
yeah,
Because I know like the gate has that. Uh,
yeah.
oh, I forget where gate even is anymore. You get this group and folder that puts your stuff in the folders in Live 11, or you can take them out. I think I'm gonna keep them out because I always like hesitate when I get to there. Um, input
Under
time,
dynamics, if you have it the other way.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so this doesn't say anything about sound.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, it delays the input so that it has a chance to do its
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe it's. I'm sure. I guess there are probably people out there that'll tell you it's gonna make a huge difference. I haven't noticed it affecting the sound too much, but I don't know. It does say a little bit of distortion.
Thank you for the answers. I was just kind of, I knew what they're there for, but I was just kind of curious about you keeping them on there. Everyone
I
kind of has their
my like template like my when I first open live it always has the limiter on it.
right.
You know that was just I guess I've always done that forever. Mostly like just in case something gets too loud. A lot of times I'm trying to do weird experiments, so you know it's not uncommon for me to like have my meters going crazy when I'm doing weird sound design stuff.
Neat. I just yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything going to my return tracks. Those are just yeah, nothing. So I haven't even played around with like any kind of reverb or anything. But that I think will all start to make more sense once I have vocals down and kind of get a sense of what their sound will be. So probably be working on these songs for a long time. So there's stuff I like to, I can do by myself that wouldn't be very exciting for the other guys to be around. But other things like I want them to be here for, just because otherwise, like, why are we doing it together? You know. Well, I had a good time again. I like doing
Yeah,
this.
good
This is
session.
fun.
Good session.
So
Have a good one, man.
I'll put up times for the next one once I hear from Adam, or if I don't hear from him soon, I'll put up another one we'll just do another one.
It'd be great. It's good watching you do your thing.
Yeah, hey, we could probably do it too. Like if you guys want to share something you're working on, we can look at it. I mean, I find it helpful to hear your feedback as I'm working on this stuff. Some cool ideas came out of it.
That'd
So
be cool.
yeah, something we could think about if you want to.
Great.
No pressure.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. Nice.
So with this version of with this Zoom setup, can you pass control of screen control to participants like us?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you can have your screen going. Getting the audio through to us is the trickier part. Um, I use loopback which is
Yeah.
it's cool, but it's like I don't know, it's like an $80 app or something like that. Um, there are other ways. Maybe I can look into that. So I can maybe just like direct you guys to like a video to watch or something, because that would be cool. I would enjoy that. I love
Well,
seeing what people's
you know,
works in
and
progress.
you know, personally, I'm still sorting out my Focusrite gear, and they both of them have a loop back feature, talk
Hmm.
back, where
Yeah.
I can route things around. And well, okay, yeah, just I was just curious about the screen control aspect.
I don't know if I have it installed, but there's also like Zoom audio device might be a way that you can route this through Zoom. I got to check it out. I've never really had to do it because I've always used something else. But I
Yeah.
think they've figured something out. You
Brian,
know. Yeah. Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
I'm firing up my Ableton. Let me see if I can find this here real quick. I just want to check.
Okay. Let's see. I didn't do anything crazy here, right?
Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I don't have the same options under my preferences that you do. So, oh well.
The Zoom audio device you don't have there?
Yeah, it doesn't show up on mine.
Okay.
I think I have it set to my stereo, and then I'm listening to it through headphones. So that could be part of the reason that my system is overriding Ableton. Maybe.
Hmm. I'll have to look into that. Like I said, I've never really had to do it because I've always done these workarounds. So I bet there's a tutorial out there. Someone probably kindly did that for us.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thanks,
Good
yeah, you
man.
night.
too.
Good
Nice to
night.
see you, talk to you, and we'll be in touch. And yeah, I look
Okay.
forward to hearing
Good
more of the
night.
music. Good night,
Deadly.
everybody.
Night.